Hey, it's Jamie Baker Orr with the Jamie Baker Orr team, and I'm here with one of my favorite clients.
Thank you.
Francesco. So tell us kind of how we met.
How we met. So again, I'm Francesco Crisafulli. I'm also a KW agent now. However, the story goes way back about, 7 years ago or so. And I was living in a home in Pueblo, Colorado, and I needed to sell it, and I didn't know what to do. And funny enough, word of mouth, my neighbor said, hey, you should call this lady. She sold the house across the street. So I called her, and she came over and met me, and we talked for a little while, walked around the house, and she said, worst case, let's try to rent it for you and go from there. Maybe a week or two later, I think it was probably like that. She calls me and she's like, hey, I've got a renter for your house. And I said, really? I said, that's impressive. And she said, and I've got even a better story. They want to buy your house. And I said, wow. So we worked out the details, and the house ended up going under contract. It was probably 2 or 3 months later. And then, I moved out of Pueblo and moved to where I needed to go for work. And, years later, as I was working through the, life, I decided to get into real estate, and I called Jamie, of course, and picking her brain and saying, hey, what do you think? And she kind of guided me along, just like buying a home. She guided me in my career a little bit and said, you should take a look at, Keller Williams. And I did, and here we are at...
Best move ever.
Yeah, best move ever. Yes. And now here we are in Dallas, Texas at the KW event, the family reunion, and it's a blast, and better life ahead, that's for sure.
That's for sure. We're so excited. So his deal was a little unique. He bought in the low. His house had some
repair issues.
Water issues.
Poor construction.
Yes. So he bought it from a bank who didn't disclose to him some of the concerns that we had. So of course, full disclosure, the entire way we were lucky enough to find a buyer who actually wanted to rent, couldn't quite buy at that point because I believe they were transferring jobs, right?
They were coming from out of state.
Yeah, so the good news is they wanted to rent, but then they wanted to purchase at the end, which for Francesco was a win-win because it was kind of a closure in one part of your life and then a new chapter in a new part of his life. And so we've been friends ever since then. He used to sell cars. I bought a car from him. Great guy.
20 years in the car business.
Yeah.
Which, sales is sales. But it was pretty impressive. And, full disclosure is important. And, we told the new buyers everything. And we figured it out and how to make it work. And, it was awesome. And,
we fixed everything.
Never believe that there's never a solution. There's always a solution to everything. That's
we always figured it out, right?
And figuring it out is important, and Jamie figured it out for sure.
Oh, thanks. And then, of course, being open, communicating, making sure that you're willing to do it, because a lot of people think, I don't want to do the repair because it might be too much or it might cost me too much, or am I really going to sell it in the end? And just making sure that we negotiated the deal correctly and that they knew what they were getting into. They love the house. I know they stay there for quite a few years.
Yeah.
So it all worked out, and now we're two peas in a pod.
Oh, yes. And like I said, I can't stress enough, never believe there's not a way to figure it out, because there is. Yeah. And that's what she's really good at, I will say. She figured it out.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, so look us up. So Colorado.
Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Yes. Come see us. Bye.